Kendo Podcast episode 157. In this episode, I would like to share what I learned how to organize and how to run a tournament from my son's judo tournament. Kendo Podcast by Hiro Mafuji from KendoGuide.com. Thank you for listening. This podcast is about Japanese martial arts Kendo for Kendo lovers and supported by Kendo enthusiasts through Patreon.com. Thank you for your support, guys. Please visit KendoGuide.com for more Kendo information and how to support KendoGuide.com. Welcome to Kendo Podcast episode 157. Okay, like I said, before I forgot to tell you at the end of this podcast, I want to say it now. Now you can download PDF files and some videos. You can watch some videos from Milestones for Your Kendo Improvement series. That is a series for Shodan, Nidan, Sandan exam, Sandan applicants. If you want to pass those exams, please download checklist from KendoGuide.com. It is a course, but you don't have to subscribe. You don't have to be there for long, until the end. But because this is ongoing project, I'm still making videos for members at Patreon.com, so it will keep going. But if you just want a list, you can download only that list. And in some, of course, I will give you more. But like I said, this is ongoing project, so I cannot promise when. Okay, I think it has 6 lessons so far, but not even 6. For as free contents. At the Patreon.com members area, I have like 12 lessons going with the PDF file written instructions. So if you're interested in, please check it out too. Now, okay, I went to my son's judo tournament. This was my first time ever been to a judo tournament. Yes, I was born in Japan, raised in Japan. I never been to even one judo tournament in Japan. I watched judo tournament on TV like Olympics, but never been to one. So that was very interesting what I see. So I want to share some stuff with you. Maybe at your dojo or at your Kendo Federation or in your country, you have already done this. You've been doing this for a long time, but that was fresh for me, so I'm going to share. And I have some pictures, so please look at the pictures if you're curious. Now, judo tournament, as I walked in, right, as I walked into the gym, it's a pretty big gym, but probably we all have to rent that kind of gym, big gym, so we can. That's a state tournament, so it's pretty big, right? Indiana State judo tournament. Even though we probably only north side of Indiana came, of course, northeast side of Indiana people came, but it was very big. Plus, as you know, judo, they have weight divisions, right? So even for my son's age, 7 years old, 8 years old division, he was entered. I put him in 7 years, 8 years old boy division and novice. And then that was lightweight. So my son was lightweight, and they had midweight and then heavyweight. So you can imagine how a lot of divisions will be there, right? So there were girls division, of course, the age 5 years, I think, as young as like very tiny children, and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 12, 13 and older, and they have adults times 3. Imagine how many divisions are there. At least 40, I saw 44 divisions, at least. So they have to be very organized, and then they have to do it quickly. So that was totally different. And as soon as I walk in, there's admission fee. Not for the competitors, for those who came with competitors. So we paid $9. That's because I have my wife, myself, and my son's big sister. So 3 people, and $3 each. Now this admission fee, was it admission fee? Yeah, admission fee goes to shimpans, referees, traveling cost. Okay, I don't know how much, but as we all know, Kendo population is not big. So we have to get shimpans from everywhere. So of course it costs money, right? I mean, we don't, a lot of people say, oh, it's not about money, but we need money to have a tournament, right? People just, we do need money. So we have to get some money somehow. I think that was clever. That was very clever to collect money from non-competitors, right? Because without referees, we can't do this, right? And if you don't know about judo, I didn't know much about it. I know what judo is, but how it goes. There's one shimpan. Okay, apparently they changed. I don't know if it's for everywhere, but at least where I know, I'm in US and I'm in a state called Indiana. So maybe it's different from other federations. So I don't speak for all US dojo federations or associations, okay? I've been to only one tournament, okay? Don't forget that. So only one referee, and we had 5 courts, right? And 5 match courts, and so I think probably at least 2 shimpans were there. So they replaced. They changed shimpan after certain matches. Maybe 2 or 3 shimpans. So times 5. So let's say 3 shimpans at each court. So it's 15 shimpans, right? So $3 from as admission from non-competitors. I don't know if it's enough, but if you have to get someone to fly in, that's a different story. In US, if you get someone flying, at least $400 maybe, and plus hotel, right? That's a lot of money, but that I thought that was good idea, right? And so that was what, as soon as I walk in, I saw that, right? And I knew we have to pay up front. So, but I didn't know that was for competitors or everyone. But yeah, non-competitors pay to get in. Okay, that's fair. And and before, like, application, let's go back to the way before tournament. Application was simple. That's all online. Maybe my federation does online application too. So probably you guys do too. I think that's paperless. You just apply, pay money online, and you can start making bracket. It's easy peasy. And of course, some people want to register at the desk. They can do so, but again, that changes brackets, right? So that's a little hustle, but that happens. Someone doesn't show up, you have to change bracket, or blah 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 blah. The story. Now, and also you see T-shirts selling. Maybe you do that too. And I realized they're selling tournament T-shirt I think that was a good idea. We don't do that at our federation, regional federation. So I think that was a good idea. Every year, each, how many times that seventh such and such tournament, and that was a great idea to do so. And at the back of the T-shirt, the tournament T-shirt, they had sponsors' names. Platinum sponsor, gold sponsor, silver sponsor. And I'm sure they are divided by, how much they donate or whatever. Probably, the amount of money they donated or something. But, I thought that was a good idea too. So, that you're gonna see why they needed that many sponsors. Again, of course, you need a lot of manpower to deal with that many shiai. One division times 3 different weight divisions, right? That's a lot. And they had a vendor, only one vendor I saw. So I don't know if they get money out of their revenue. I don't know. There was one vendor there. Probably the vendors contribute something to the tournament, I'm sure. And I saw some. I thought that was clever too, selling generic merchandise. That means it's not like a tournament T-shirt. It's like let's say judo, and just T-shirt or hoodies, or just something generic. It's just a judo, so it means, it doesn't have any club names or federation names. It's judo. And also there are many, like cute tiny stuffed animals, and it has judo gi on. That's cute. I mean, that's from the vendor, so we don't have to make it. But I thought that was clever. Judo bag, it says a judo. And some, 2 judo guys throwing each other or something. I thought that was clever. So very generic. So everyone can have. It doesn't matter which club. It doesn't matter. Just we can make Kendo bag. Generic. We can sell it as fundraiser, right? So that's good. And they are selling food and drinks. We do that too. A lot of I think not a lot. I don't know if you sell it. They were selling hot dogs. You can imagine it's the U.S., so they probably got to have hot dogs. I don't know, but it's like going to a football game. I've never been to one, but probably the American football, they hot dogs. Oh, I went to WWE, so they had hot dogs and all the drinks. You can imagine. So you can charge. But the one thing I didn't like is Kendo Mind, or Japanese Mind, I don't know. They were selling at the gym. If that was outside the gym, that was cool. But inside the gym, and people walk around with food, and I didn't like it. Again, because I'm Kendo minded, Kendo/Japanese minded. So, if they're good, probably they're good. But still, But anyway, you'll see how it goes. As I talk, you can probably understand why they do that. They were the big gym and 5 shiai courts. They had plenty of room. Really, they had plenty of room, and I like how they set it up. You can, it's like we have bleachers. We get bleachers, but they have like movable bleach, not the huge one, like 1, 2, 3, maybe three rows, 4 rows, and you can move it so that you can kind of circle around all the courts. So I thought that was clever. Of course, people can go through between those bleachers. So that was very, they're flexible, plenty of space. People can move around without bothering shiai. So I think that was good. Now So those, again, we need to generate money. Nothing comes for free. So, people move. It costs money. So get referees from everywhere. Somehow we need to raise money, raise funds to have a tournament. So that was a great idea, I thought. And then shiai management. The first thing I noticed is all the computer monitors at each court. And I didn't know what they were for. And each court had 2 monitors. One in front of Shimpan and one facing at one in front of Shimpan, so it's facing to Shimpan, referee. And the other one is facing out, not facing outward, so we can see. Now I didn't know what it was for. So, well, probably you can imagine one facing to Shimpan it has timer. Okay, it has timer on it, and it's a scoreboard. So Shimpan can easily see what's going on. Now, a lot of times at Kendo, Shimpan has to remember what happened, right? Which one's got point. Now, it's not that difficult, but sometimes it helps, especially when you do. This doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes you lose. Sometimes you go blank and you go, oh, crap, which one got a point? I don't remember. But still, it doesn't happen much. But it's easy for everyone to see who got what, right? So I thought that was a good idea. The screen size, I don't know exactly how big it is. It's at least 24 inches, maybe 27. It was big, so I could even see from the other side of the court. So it has to be huge. Not that huge, but it's reasonably huge. So everyone can see what time remained, and who's got what. So that was a brilliant idea, I thought. And then one for everyone to see, and they had a Shimpan area, Shimpan table, and that has the screen monitor for Shimpan to see the score monitor, and the other monitor was beside the court, and that is actually for competitors. So who's fighting now? Who's fighting next? Who's fighting after that? Who's fighting after that? So you can see when is your shiai. Now the reason they are doing it is, like I said, there are so many divisions, and they set up first round brackets. So it's a tournament. So they have first round brackets, who goes where, right? But it's double elimination. So losers, they have losers brackets too. So once they lose, they go to that bracket. Now, if you keep winning, you won first round, and you go up to the second round. Now, second round, if you lose at the second round, you go to the losers brackets. I didn't know the system, so you cannot very hard to trace who goes where and when he's gonna fight next. So these guys, this table is just for that. So these guys figure out who's go where, who's go next, and then these two staff figure out who goes where, and then there are other staff only type in names, right? So, and then everyone go there and then check when their next fight is. I thought that was very good, but Also, what they are doing that is because I thought that was very complicated, but they were doing it very well. Uh, they don't do one category at a time. So what that means is they put a lot of categories in one court. So for example, right? For example, girl, lightweight, and next one is boy lightweight. Next one is boy 10 and 11 years old, heavyweight or something like that. So one court doesn't finish one category, one division. They go one shy from, so many divisions will be assigned to one court. So one court has to deal with those divisions, and then they don't do one division at a time. They do, okay, first round of this division, and then next year is from the different division, and next year is from different division. And when they do that, they go back to the first division. And I thought that was very complicated because I've never done this before. And then that's why they don't have all the brackets everywhere, because they assign each division at that at the tournament, at the day of the tournament. So you can't make it, right? And they have losers brackets too. So it's too complicated to make, and they need a lot of paper for that, and they can't do it. And that's why I think they at the table they have brackets, and they figure out who goes where, and they type it down, right? Type it, and then the screen will show who fights next, and we have to 100% trust them, right? And then we just fight accordingly. So I don't know. Yes, to me it's very complicated, but it looks like people used to that kind of system. So no one complained. I don't see any people complain about it. I think I saw a lot of people got confused. I think, but I think that was very new to me. And then, of course, that screen helped me a lot. But the downside is you have to keep going to check when is my son's fight. So I was going around quite a bit, because there are also dojo mates fighting. His dojo mates fighting because of course he wants to cheer them, or I want to see how other kids fight. So I was going around, walk back and forth, checking my son's, fight. So that was kind of downside, and it's hard to, because no one had, only one piece of paper. In each division has a piece of paper. First round fight. That's all. Right, first round brackets, and it's a tournament, so those lines, but that's it. First round, and we don't know who because we don't have the tournament chart in our hands. We don't know who won. Right, that was downside too. But at the end, they tell you who got first place. Of course, if you got first place, you can tell. Second place. My son got third place. I didn't know. So if you don't know you got third place, probably you left. I think a lot of people leave after their fight is done. So, that's downside. I think that is a downside. And yeah, so we don't know which division is up next, because they mixed up all the divisions. So that's also hard to know. But again, they have computer going and screen going, and they'll tell you whose fight is next and next and next and next. They have 5 names on the 5 fights on the screen, who's fighting now, who's fighting next, and next, and next. So yeah, that was helpful. Now, and another thing I thought that was very different is in an award ceremony is done after but each division is done. So once that their division, so for example, when my son's division is done, they give the result to the front, and then there's a guy calling names and go, who division such and such, the third place. They start award ceremony while other shiais are going. Okay, so everything keeps going. Shiai and award ceremony, shiai award ceremony. So it just keeps running. Okay, and then they got to leave after their award. They get award. They can leave. So kids can go really quick. So some kids, I think when I left, maybe before lunch or slightly after lunch, they didn't have lunch time. They just kept going, and I believe they don't do closing ceremony if no one's gonna maybe adults will stay there for closing ceremony, but I left before I left when all the my son's dojo mates shiai was over. I left, so I don't know what happens if they did a closing ceremony or not. But yeah, so that was, as a long-time kendo, kendo practitioners, I've never seen things like that. So I thought, that's very, they don't really get attention, but they look happy because their family is there to, praise them. So, that's different. Good or bad aside, I prefer we close the tournament altogether. But I also know a lot of people leave after the match. So, good or bad, I don't know. But that was, I understand a lot of people have to drive a long way, especially, probably everywhere is same. Like, for example, in a region, in my regional federation, people, I have to drive 3 hours, maybe, or 4 hours to get to one place, and I really have to stay. I don't want to drive 3 hours there and then 3 hours back. If, let's say, closing ceremony at 6 o'clock, and stay there at 6:30. Maybe I'll do a lot of things. Maybe I'll leave 7 o'clock, right? And after that, I have to drive 3 hours. That's tiring. If I could leave at 2 o'clock, I'll do that. So, probably the referees have to stay until all the match is over. That's understandable. But I think they would be done by 3 o'clock, I think. They did a lot of shiai, but they just, like I said, double elimination. So it's not like everyone can fight twice. Everyone. So at least, right? No, not twice. Yeah, at least twice. And if you keep winning 1, 2, 3, and if you lose, you can go to losers bracket, right? And you get to fight back, and then you can keep going too if you keep winning. So maybe even if it's 5 people in this tournament, and you get to fight, there will be 9 shiai at least, I think, if my calculation is correct. So there's a lot of shiai to deal with. Well, and then like I said, divisions, a lot of divisions. So I'm not too sure that's a good way, closing ceremony, no closing ceremonies, or I think I believe they did. I hope they did, and but the award given ceremony is at this during the Shia, other Shia is going. Good or bad aside, if you think about driving 3-4 hours back home, it's fair, it's family involving, kids, small kids. Yeah, they want to go home early. I understand. I'm a parent too, so I think that's doable. If you can. But at the same time, I'm still Kendo and Japanese minded, so altogether it would be nicer, And Kendo, they didn't have team match, so probably that's also another reason they could, they could do it, but I don't know. Maybe next time I get to see team fight. So what do you think? And then I want you to share what your federation or what your country do. Do you use computer monitors to show results and who's go up next? Do you do that, or what do you do? Do you do like paper, like like everyone does around here? I know some big tournament, like like world tournament, world championships, they use big screen to who got what. But I'm talking about, this is the state, Indiana State Judo Tournament. What about your regional federation do? Can you share it with us? Please do so if you can. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next podcast. I would like to send special thanks to patrons for their constant support through patreons.com/Kendo For Life.